Hi, welcome to Girl Techs. This is a tech show about technology. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be talking to you about laptops. What is the best laptop to buy? Is it Toshiba, Dell, Mac? The list goes on and on and on and on. And time again, I tell people it's not about the laptop, it's about the processor. So what's the processor? The processor is basically the brains of the computer. If you have not got a good processor, then you have not got a good laptop. It doesn't matter if it's Dell, it doesn't matter if it's Toshiba, it doesn't matter if it's a Mac. If your processor is no good for what you need it for, then it's not going to do the job. So, how can you tell what's a good processor? Well, the processors on the market that I'm aware of are Intel and AMD. With the Intel processors, they start off with Celerons. A Celeron processor is the very bottom of the processor ladder. Well, you've got the Atom processors actually. So the Atom processors were originally only ever found in netbooks, but now they've started putting Core 2 Duo processors in netbooks as well. But generally, an Atom processor is found in a netbook, and netbooks used to be only for surfing the web and not really for downloading, not really for mass music. Celeron processor, you're looking at about 30 minutes of battery life, maximum 30 minutes of battery life, maximum. So when you're going around and you're looking at laptops, if you see a Celeron processor and you're a person that looks at YouTube and does a lot of downloading, then a Celeron processor is not going to be sufficient for your needs. Now, the next one up the ladder from Celeron is Pentium. A Pentium's a pretty decent processor, to be honest. That's you're looking at about 60 minutes, 60 to 80 minutes battery life, and that's generally good for if you're at university or student, or you're just looking and doing a tiny bit of downloading and maybe a bit of multitasking as well. Up from that, then you get the Centrino. The Centrinos are pretty good as well, and a lot of businesses use Centrinos. You'll find them in a lot of old laptops, refurbished laptops like the IBM ones. So a Centrino you'll do pretty fine with. Core 2 Duo. Now, a Core 2 Duo is actually one of my favourites because that's a dual processor. So in effect, think of it as two brains. So there's two brains doing one job, basically. And what I've got is actually got a Mac and a MacBook Pro, and it's got a Core 2 Duo processor, and also it's got 4 GB of RAM, which means that generally it's fantastic for multitasking, downloading, editing, you name it. But a Core 2 Duo is a really decent processor, and you'll find them these days in Intel Core 2 Duo in most good laptops. Then you go on to the quad family, and the quad ones with Intel, they're really for those that are gaming, so really hardcore users. So I'd say if you're not a gamer and you're not doing computer programming, then a quad processor with like 4 streams really is above what you need. And then we go to the iCores. So the iCores, I at the moment also have an iCore 7 processor, which is in my Dell laptop. That's okay, that's pretty decent. With the iCores, that's a whole new range that Intel have brought out. So I believe that they start at you got the iCore 3, iCore 2, iCore 5, and all of those are pretty decent because they're fairly new. I would personally just say avoid Celerons. I don't even know why they bother putting them in laptops these days, and it really angers me that you can see a Dell laptop with a Celeron processor in, and someone who doesn't know what they're buying will buy it because they think, oh, Dell's a good brand, and they're spending like £300 to £400 on a Celeron processor. I mean, come on. I it just really, really, really angers me, especially when I know that usually before Christmas, so before the Christmas rush, you could find that same Dell laptop that looks exactly the same but with a Core 2 Duo processor inside, something that's actually going to do the job for exactly the same price. But as they start running out of those and start throwing in the whole Celeron Dell computers, and people just don't know what they're buying. This is really a quick overview, but if you have any questions, please just inbox me, and if anybody knows a bit more in depth or thinks that I need to be educated on anything to do with processors, let me know. Just let me know what you think of the video, because as I said, this is just a general sort of overview of processors. I'm not really going to go deep into this. I'm going to leave that for the techie people. Thank you for watching, and sub if you like, and if you don't like, don't sub.